I like the way I'm feeling now. Feel me? We out here. This is my surroundings right here. Straight up. Waiting on my transportation. My book bag. I'll show y'all niggas. Full picture. Get the ass shot. My ass shot. Please get the ass shot. The whole picture. Feel me? Walk with your nigga. Feel me? We walking and we talking. How you doing? Yeah? Yeah. See? What I'm doing right now is play. I pressed play and I started recording. You know what I mean? This is something we learned when we were young. Not necessarily recording, because life is a recording on its own. Your subconscious record everything that you do. It's on the constant collecting of information, everything that you do, things known and unknown from childhood. And these collection of or recording of play from your surroundings, environments, the things that you engage in, activities, is what forms a characteristic of who you are as a person. So life itself is a play. We playing with each other. You feel me? And play is a contest. That requires you are a player that's playing with somebody else or an environment or a group. Society itself is a play. That's why they call it society, roles, duties, and everything else like that. But in order to play, you have to have a consent. So sex is play. Anything other than that, we classify as rape. Or you forcing yourself onto somebody else who does not want to play. That is considered rape. You feel me? Not necessary penetration or anything else like that. Trying to force your ideas on other people, that's rape. You feel me? So life, we playing. We engaging with each other. Even when we have a conversation, it's a form of play. When you first meet somebody, you play. We play in a role. We're trying to break that ice so we can get to a comfortable stage or a level of understanding so we can play with each other. No homo. Feel me? This is something that you learn as a kid. You're supposed to allow your kids to play. Through that playing, they find their own role. From crawling, they playing, crawling, then they start to walk. You feel me? So each play is a graduation. The better you play, the better of a person that you are. It's like a game. Life is a game itself, but it's a serious game at that too. You can have fun. There's gonna be sad moments. Sometimes you get mad because you're losing the game. Then you want to take your ball home because you're losing. You feel me? People take it personal, but it can't be personal. You have to learn how to make mistakes in life, or you have to learn how to lose gracefully. People don't know how to lose because as a child, they miss those opportunities to learn how to play. That's why there's sportsmanship in any sport. After the game, guess what? We shake each other's hands. Good game. There's a fight. You hug it out. Boom. Consent. One person and the other person choose to battle it out. In a fight, basketball, that's consent itself. It's a contest, but it's also consent because you have agreed. You have an agreement between the two to play with each other. You feel me? The reason why you have people like serial killers, thieves, these things are opposite of playing because they don't have no consent for what they're doing. They disrespect the game. That's why a narcissist is a form of is a disrespectful person. Is a person who does not have respect for others, who does not wants to play by the rules of life. They decide to do their own thing, and this is why they become who they are. This is why they get those labels. sociopath, psychopath, antisocial, all these other things. These are all people who do not play. They don't want to engage in life activities. You feel me? As long as you have, if a person wants to be a slave to you, and y'all decide on that, and he's like, yo, I'll be the slave master, you be the slave. Yeah, y'all playing. But if you force somebody to do something that is against their will, that's against the play of life itself. So we are constantly playing. Playing is the engagement, is the engagement of activities or recreation. You feel me? Recreation. Creation itself was a play. God told Adam, play with the animals. From the activities of you playing with those animals, you can, as you see how my voice, because I get excited, my voice rise up. From the activities of you playing with those animals, you can get to understand them better, and that's how you get to name them. So when he told Adam, play with those animals, this is how Adam came up with all those animals' name and everything else. And from there, after he played with those animals, he graduated, and then he realized that he needs a complement or companion. Somebody that he can also play with that looks just like him. So as a kid, when you start playing with your toys, you start forming all these things in your mind. You feel me? You start creating characters in your mind with your dolls and your little cars and everything else like that. And you get to learn these things on your own. Then you move into the real world when you go into school and everything else like that. Then you have a real friend now. These are all forms of graduation. Even in school, you graduate. There's different levels to it. So with each play, the better you play the game, the more advanced you become and the better you become in each level. The problem is that people don't know how to play. You feel me? They just don't know how to play. They don't know how to sacrifice. They said obedience is better than sacrifice. You feel me? So obeying the game itself is better than you trying to sacrifice. You can do both, of course, but you also have to have respect for the game. Have respect for the game. You can't create rules, then you break your own rules and expect others to follow. Eventually, nobody's going to want to play with you. You feel me? Eventually, nobody's going to want to play with you. This is why people start to disrespect the law, because they feel like these people create the law and they don't even follow their own rules. They make one rule for us and make another rule for everybody else. You have to set the games and the rules very clear. This is why we have policies. Laws. You feel me? These are all rules. Even in war, they have rules of engagement. It's a play. It doesn't necessarily mean a child's play or a sport play. There's play in everything. Even musicians play music. Athletes play athletics or athletes. Excuse my accent. I can't pronounce certain word. That's my excuse. Anyway, play sport. You feel me? There's different categories of plays in different avenues. So all we doing is just playing. I'm only recording the play for 10 minutes. Right now I'm at 9 minutes. But I'll keep talking, of course. But for TikTok purposes, it's for 10 minutes. But it's a play, man. You feel me? And each play, you basically play in a society where even in a household, the wife and the husband are playing a role. Men and women playing a role. We agreed to these rules a long time ago. It has worked for so long. If it didn't work, it wouldn't have continued. It wouldn't have lasted this long for us to even keep on playing the game. We would have voted against it and done something else. In today's society, they want to change the he to the she and the she to the it and the he they. You can't even call nobody nothing no more. It's shit crazy out here. You feel me? Because they fucking up play. They ruin the play itself because they haven't learned how to play the game. Y'all gotta learn how to play the game, man. You feel me? Before you change the rules, you have to have consent with everybody else. You can't force your ideas onto people. You just can't. You understand? This out of bounds. There's rules in the game. If you step out of bounds, the ref is there's gonna be like, beep. Look, police are playing refs sometimes. Even they're not doing their job. If a referee who has the uniform that represents a referee in an environment, you got sanitation workers, you got firefighters. These are all form of referees. They do their part to keep things in line. You feel me? But if you do not follow these rules and everything else like that, then it's like, how do we have respect for authority? That's what they call authority. But in other places, we call them referees. You feel me? These are just referees. They're trying to manage. They try to keep things in. They're trying to keep things in bounds. Once you step out of bounds, it's like, hey, you stepped out of bounds. You violating the rules. We got to call you up on that. That's what we supposed to do. We are all referees in our own rights too. That was wrong. That's what your parents do. But when now you grown, nobody's going to tell you to do that. You're supposed to do that to yourself. You're supposed to ref yourself too. And others are supposed to ref your behavior. That was bad. You don't treat people like that. Why would you do that? You feel me? We got to call people out on these things. We playing a game. And what's the point of playing a game if there's no rules to the game? How do we know? How can you play against a game against me and I don't even know that I'm playing the game itself? You understand? You will not have no audience. This is how narcissists are made. Narcissists are made because a narcissist he has avatars in his mind or in his brain itself. You feel me? And he's playing with the characters in his brain, and he's just using individuals and people as objects. So he doesn't conversate with you. He's conversating with the avatars in his head. The fantasy of it all. He's conversating with them in his head. He's not really, he or she. I say he because most men are narcissists. If you even psychopath and sociopath and everything else like that, they're not playing the game itself. You feel me? This is a play. We came into this place to have fun, which is the world itself, which is the universe, the sun, the moon, everything, black holes, dark energy, everything is playing a role. And everything plays the role because it plays the role because it has to keep the game going. This is what makes life fun itself. You feel me? And within this game itself, the game is not just, it's just not a basketball and you shoot it in the hoop and everything else like that. There's different aspects to the game. There's so many different games going on at one time in one unit. A world within a world. Shout out to my gray hair right here. It's a world within a world. A game within a game. It's in the game itself. You feel me? EA Sports, it's in the game. Shout out to EA Sports. Free advertisement. You understand? And we choose to play this game because we have respect for each other. You feel me? Some people decide to foul you hard. Technical foul. You feel me? Fragrant foul. You feel me? Somebody got to call these things out. We got to call these people. And just because other people are doing it and nobody said it's wrong doesn't mean that you have to do it too. You feel me? What game are you playing? What game are you playing? If you don't know how to play the game, watch how other people play the game. Then you can mimic and imitate them. You feel me? But you have to learn how to play the game. You just can't play. You just can't be a coward. If you're not good enough to be on a team, and my bus is here. Some people are just not good enough to be on a team and they're cowards. All right, I gotta go.